From Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, all the way to Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, this is my final Star Wars ranking. After reviewing every single film across YouTube and my website, we finally reached the end of the saga, and honestly, it's been a journey. Highs, lows, and some very strong opinions along the way. So before we get into it, if you've been following the series, make sure to like, subscribe, and let me know your ranking in the comments, because I guarantee you're most likely going to disagree with mine. So let's get into it.
Number 11.
Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Coming in last place is Attack of the Clones. If you've read my review for the movie, you'll know exactly why this is so low down on the list. This film is a struggle. The dialogue is clunky, the romance doesn't work, and what should be a tragic turning point for Anakin just comes across as awkward. There are moments in the movie I enjoy, Obi-Wan's detective storyline, the arena battle, but getting there feels like a chore. For a film that should be building one of cinema's greatest villains, it really misses the mark.
Number 10.
Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. At my number 10 spot is The Phantom Menace. This one's slightly higher, purely because of its highs. The Duel of the Fates sequence is still one of the best moments in all of Star Wars. The lightsaber duel between Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and Darth Maul. But outside of that, it's slow, overly political, and never quite captures the magic you'd expect. It's a film with flashes of brilliance, surrounded by a lot of missed potential.
Number 9.
Solo, a Star Wars story. At number 9, Solo. It's enjoyable, but it never feels essential. As a sci-fi adventure, it works. The cast is strong, especially Donald Glover as Lando, but as a Star Wars movie, something feels off. It answers questions nobody was asking, and I couldn't connect with this version of Han Solo.
Number 8.
Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. At number 8 is The Last Jedi. It looks incredible, but the story choices divide everything. I respect that it takes risks, I really do, but for me, those risks don't pay off, especially with Luke Skywalker, which just didn't feel true to the character. It's bold, but frustrating.
Number 7.
Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. At number 7 is The Rise of Skywalker. This is where things get messy. It feels like a film trying to fix a trilogy instead of finishing one. There's entertainment here, and there are some great visuals and strong moments, but the decisions, especially bringing Palpatine back, really hold it back. As a standalone film, it really works. As a finale to the entire saga, it really struggles.
Number 6.
Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. At my number 6 spot is Return of the Jedi. This is a film I've grown to appreciate more over time. Yes, it has its issues. The Ewoks lower the stakes, but the emotional core of Luke, Vader, and the Emperor is fantastic. It's a great ending to the original trilogy, even if the film itself isn't the strongest of the three.
Number 5.
Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. Coming in at my number 5 spot is A New Hope, the one that started it all, the one that made us fall in love with Star Wars. Simple, iconic, and groundbreaking, it might not be the most complex Star Wars film, but without it, none of this exists.
Number 4.
Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. At number 4, The Force Awakens, yes, it mirrors A New Hope. but it feels like a smart homage rather than a lazy remake. It reintroduced Star Wars perfectly. New characters, new questions, and most importantly, it made me excited to be back in this world again.
Number 3.
Now, this is where Star Wars hits on another level. Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. At my number 3 spot, Revenge of the Sith is the film where the prequels finally woke up. After 2 films of build-up, everything clicks here. The scale feels bigger, the story feels sharper, and emotionally, it hits hard. Watching Anakin's fall isn't just a plot point, it's a tragedy. You can see it coming and you know where it leads, and yet it still hits. From Order 66 to the final duel on Mustafar, this film doesn't let up. And that fight between Obi-Wan and Anakin, it's not just action, it's emotional, it's personal, and it's devastating. For all the flaws of the prequels, this is the film that justifies their existence.
Number 2.
Rogue One, a Star Wars story. At number 2 is Rogue One. This film is something special. It shows Star Wars from a completely different perspective. The cost of rebellion. These aren't Jedi. These are soldiers, and you feel the weight of every decision they make. And then there's that final act. From the battle on Scarif to the hallway scene with Darth Vader, it's flawless, tense, emotional, and unforgettable. You know how it ends, and yet it still hits you.
Number 1.
And coming in at my number 1 spot is Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. What else could it be? This isn't just the best Star Wars film. It's one of the best sequels ever made. It takes everything from A New Hope and elevates it. The tone is darker, the characters are deeper, and the stakes feel real. Luke's training, Han and Leia's relationship, Vader as a villain, and of course, the most famous line in cinema history, I am your father. It's iconic for a reason. This is Star Wars at its absolute peak. No matter where these films rank, Star Wars at its best is unbeatable. This franchise isn't perfect, but when it works, nothing else comes close, in my opinion. If you've watched along, read the reviews, or supported this series in any way, I genuinely appreciate it. Now it's your turn. Drop your ranking in the comments because I know there are going to be some strong opinions on this one. And if you've enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and I will catch you at the next one. May the 4th be with you, always.